This is the plaintiff, Herman Schaefer. He says the defendant is one-time friend, owes him money on a construction job gone bad and won't pay. He even had to pay the customer back out of his own pocket, money that was supposed to go towards his kid's Christmas presents. He has no other choice but to take him here to the People's Court to get his $600 returned. This is the defendant, Damian Rosado. He says he spent a day and a half running around, putting pricing and supplies together for a job the plaintiff got for them. He had no idea the plaintiff never got a contract signed, and when the customer backed out, that wasn't his problem. He deserves to be paid.
Right away, this case isn't really about $600, it's about trust between friends. One bad construction quote, one cancelled job, and suddenly a friendship is headed straight into court. The real question is, who should carry the cost of that mistake? Let me know in the comments before the judge gives her answer.
The money he got from the plaintiff and simply does not work for free. He's accused of letting a friend down.
Thank you, Douglas. Herman Schaefer? Herman Schaefer, you are suing Damian Rosado?
Yes.
For $600 that you paid him that he refused to return to you when a job got canceled. Okay,
Correct.
Explain to me what's going on.
Damien and I have worked together in the past on different jobs together. We're both in the construction field.
Okay, specifically what?
Carpentry.
Carpentry, okay.
At one point, we've obviously had a rough time with the economy, getting back to work. We've both been out for a while. Him and I have always pretty much kept in contact, and I considered him a friend. Right around the end of end of November, it was right after Black Friday, I was out putting my Christmas lights up. My neighbor Denise approached me about doing some work for her. Specifically, one part of it being a vinyl railing system.
If I saw you putting up your lights on Black Friday, I'd be hiring you to put up my lights. Because you're on it. All right. So she wanted you to do what?
She asked about a few things. One of them specifically was a vinyl railing system around her front porch.
Okay.
At which point I had asked if she would mind if I brought Damien along. I knew he was out of work, could use the extra money, and him and I always liked working together.
Okay.
I called him. He said he was in. He asked me to just go over, measure the linear foot, and give it back to him so he could get a quote.
Okay.
The next day, we met with Denise.
The two of you?
Yes.
Okay.
Gave her the quote. Figured it was going to be about $400 for what we needed, plus some of the saw blades, and extra was going to give us a little cushion of about $600.
How did you come up with the quote?
Again, he called Home Depot and spoke to somebody, a representative there, that told him it was going to be between $300 and $400 for the material.
Okay, so that part was his job, to figure out what materials would cost so that you would know what kind of quote to give her?
Right.
So you quoted her how much?
$600 for the material. That was just for material.
Just for material. And how much for the rest of the stuff?
We figured it was about $700 for installation, be about
Okay.
a day and a half, 2 days.
All right, go on.
The next day, he'd taken the money because he had to pick up, and it was easier for him to pick it up.
To pick up the materials?
Correct.
Because she agreed to that price?
Yes.
Okay.
The next day, we meet at Home Depot, only to find out.
Here's where the case takes a major turn. The customer backed out because the materials cost far more than expected. Legally speaking, once the job is cancelled, the biggest issue becomes who has the customer's money and whether they're entitled to keep any of it. This is the moment everything starts falling apart.
The price that was quoted to him by the Home Depot rep was wrong.
Okay.
And it was going to run an additional about $400, $400 more for the material.
Just for the materials?
Yes.
Okay.
When we approached her about it, we left. He decided to go to Lowe's to see if he could find it at a cheaper price, and figured if I can get it, he'd just pay for it with the cash and just be done with it.
Right.
I, in turn, went home, went online, and phoned a few places to try to get quotes also.
Okay.
Only coming up with the same thing, that the price was wrong. It was still going to run another $300, $400, depending upon where we went.
Okay.
At which point I went back to my neighbor and explained this to her. She said, I appreciate it, but at this point, she said, being that close to the holidays, it's just another bill that I really can't afford. And she wanted her money back.
Okay. So you call Damien and you tell him that?
Yes.
And what's he
it
say?
was, at this time, it started becoming a game of phone tag and texting, trying to get the money back.
Okay.
It was,
what was he saying to you?
Let's see. I'm at my mother's. I was in an accident. My wife put in the wrong PIN, and the machine took her debit card. I didn't make it to the bank.
Do you have those texts?
I actually have quite a few of the texts right here.
May I see them?
Sure.
Okay. So go on.
The one that's on top is from my girlfriend. She had received a text message from my neighbor asking if I had heard from him because she was getting tired of waiting for the money. And she was getting pretty fed up. So I decided that since it was being my neighbor and I spoke for him, vouched for him, I was obviously obligated to pay her back.
Okay, so now you're out of work, you don't have the job, and you have to dig into your own savings to pay your neighbor $600 to keep the peace with your girlfriend.
Correct.
And your neighbor.
And unfortunately, it was, like I said, it was money I was relying on to give the kids for Christmas.
Right.
So this here is...
Okay, stop talking a second. Mr. Rosado, you talk.
Notice how the judge immediately focuses on who made the original estimate. That's not a random question. In contract disputes, responsibility often follows the person whose mistake caused the financial loss. If the estimate was wrong from the beginning, that detail could decide the entire case.
Yes, Your
Tell
Honor.
me, what's
All
going
right,
on?
Your Honor. Well, obviously, when I got the wrong price, the final quote for the total material was $880. So I had mentioned to Mr. Schaefer, can you listen? We both kick up $140 out of our pocket. You're claiming she's a good
Wait,
pay.
no, back up.
Sorry.
You skipped a very important part.
Okay,
Whose
what are you
job
gonna
was
go
it
to?
to get the original quote, which got you guys the job?
As far as I knew, Your Honor, everything was supposed to be done 50-50. So if we're going to pick the material up,
No.
he comes with me.
Who got the estimate that turned out to be wrong?
I got the estimate. I
Just
called
you.
Home Depot.
You alone,
Just me alone
and
on
only
the phone.
you.
And only
then
me.
you guys, then you're both standing there. You get the job. You tell her how much it'll be. She likes the price.
Yes,
You get the job.
yes.
Then the next day, you're
Yes.
going over because you got the pickup truck, and you get handed the $600, and you're going to pick up the materials. And what goes wrong?
There was an extra $280 cost for the structural poles.
Whose fault was that?
It was the rep at Home Depot because they misquoted me the price for the system.
But
They
I
told me
take
the
it that when
packet-
you say that to Home Depot, they
They don't
could
care.
less.
They
Okay,
could care
so go
less.
on.
They look at me like, whatever. So anyway, so I told it was the final price of it all was an extra $280. I said to Herman, I said, look, I can't afford to lose this. Okay, we both kick in $140 each. We do the job. She's a good pay. We're going to get our money right.
Why does he have to kick in $140?
Because we need to split the difference because we're splitting the job 50-50 to be able because we only got a $600
Yeah, but he didn't
deposit.
price it wrong. You did.
Huh? Well, I got a misquote.
Okay.
So
you tell him you eat 140, I eat 140. He
well, we're not
says-
eating nothing. We're just putting it up to get it back in the end.
Well, no, you're eating it because you're making less
Oh, yeah,
labor.
we're making less money.
So in the
Yeah,
end,
yeah.
you're paying for it,
Yes,
not her.
yes.
All right, so you suggest that to him, and he says no.
He says, no, I'm not putting the money out of my pocket.
Right, and when do
Okay.
you suggest that to him?
When we were in Home Depot standing there looking at the material.
Aghast that it was wrong.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So that's the very next day after
That-
getting the $600.
that
So
was
he
it.
says no, then what happens?
So then he says, well, I'm going to go back to her, and I'm going to ask her for more money.
So
I
he
s-
goes back, he asks her, she says no,
She
I can't
says
afford
no,
it.
or whatever she says.
Whatever she says.
So then I said, okay, so the week went by, okay, which I was busy, Your Honor. I was working an hour and a half from home. I couldn't get back there, drop the money off. I said, Herman, do me a favor, have her give me a call. Because in all honesty, I felt like now that I put the day and a half of running around and all this commotion into it, that he was trying to backdoor me out of a job because he wasn't
He
happy
was
with the
trying to
profit.
backdoor you out of a job.
Yes. So he was going to do the job with himself, make the remaining profit, and then just say, you're done.
But that you turned out to be quite wrong in that suspicion.
I could have been, yeah, but that's
Well, no,
the way
you
I
were.
felt. But-
Now, with the hindsight, you know that that didn't happen.
Yeah, well, Your Honor, and all I wanted was a phone call from this woman saying, listen, I can't pay the money. I can't afford it.
Those text messages are doing more than telling a story, they're becoming evidence. Every promise to pay later, every excuse, and every delay gives the judge a timeline to examine. Ask yourself this: if you were the judge, would these texts build trust or destroy it?
Right now, I went to her house twice. She wasn't home. He refused to give me her number. He wouldn't give it to
It's
me.
his neighbor. He doesn't want you trying
Well, she
to
gave
harass
me
him.
the money, though, Your Honor. If someone hands you money, if you hand someone money and a week goes by and they don't bring it back,
He
don't you
doesn't
want
know
that
what you're
person's
going to
number?
say to her. I mean, he doesn't know what you know where she lives. You went. She didn't want to talk to you. Apparently, did you leave a message and say call me? And she didn't.
I
call
didn't
you?
have her number. I didn't leave any
No,
message
but I
on the
mean,
door.
you didn't leave your business card in the door.
No, and I didn't leave nothing in the window, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'm looking at the text that he saved.
Okay.
What are they going to tell me?
They're going to tell him that, yeah, I was stolen to see if he would give me your
I
number.
never said I wouldn't give it back. I'm not going to screw anyone.
I said that, yeah. I was basically
Of course, we're
stolen,
here,
Your
though,
Honor.
right? When I get it, you'll get it. I got to worry about me first. Sorry, but right now I'm trying to get back on my feet. When the money comes, I'll call you. Then another day. I'm wrapping up now. I'm heading home. If I get home before her, I'll just drop it off to you. But, of course, that didn't happen. Sorry, I had minor surgery on my back. I will get a check Thursday, pay you Thursday. But that didn't happen. And then the last one, let me talk to my lawyer first this way. When we go to court, I can get what I am owed for all the work I did. Okay.
All the running around.
By the way, that didn't happen either, right? You didn't talk to a lawyer.
I did talk to a lawyer.
So, you did?
Go ahead. Yeah.
What'd the lawyer tell you?
That's exactly what I'm here for. Your time isn't free.
And welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So does this guy get his money back, the plaintiff? Does he get the money from the defendant?
I would think so.
Why?
Because, well, first of all, because the job,
You only get it first of all.
well, the job wasn't completed. It wasn't
The
started.
job wasn't started, and the defendant was he was responsible for the bad quote.
Well, I say the plaintiff does get the money back because if it's contracted that the job is to be done in a certain fashion at this particular price, and that is not the case, then the plaintiff should get his money back.
Agree, yes.
Now the judge is dismantling the defendant's argument piece by piece. She's making a simple point. If your mistake causes the deal to collapse, can you still demand payment for the time you spent making that mistake? That's a tough question, and it's one many contractors and business owners can learn from.
Yes or no?
I agree, yes.
Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
Can I ask you a question, Mr. Rosado? If you feel that you should be able to keep some of the $600 for work that you did, am I right in assuming that you believe that I need to assess a value on getting the wrong quote? Because that's the work that you did. The work you did.
What about the
stunk.
What about the gas money I spent running around? The time I spent running around.
Can I ask you a question? Was this lady supposed to pay for estimates?
What do you mean was she supposed to pay
I
when I
mean,
give it
did
to
you
her?
have an agreement beforehand that this customer would pay you for an estimate? No, right?
No agreement.
Yeah, exactly.
It was his neighbor.
So
I
why
normally
is
charge
it then that
$60.
Herman, your old friend Herman Schaffer?
Schaefer.
Herman Schaefer has to pay you for the estimate you put together when it's your fault that everything went in the toilet because you got a bad
It
quote.
didn't go in the toilet. There was still a profit to be made for 6 days' work.
No, it's not the
or
same
6
deal.
hours
But
work.
that's not
I'm
the deal he
sorry.
struck. He's not stuck with that.
What's
Why
that?
would he be stuck with that? The deal he struck is that he'd make a certain amount of labor, and he wasn't going to get it if you were making him pay $140. Let's both eat it. No, you're the one who botched it. So what is your work that you did worth? You give a wrong quote. You based on that wrong quote, you get a job. The job then says, no, I'm not paying $400. I'm not paying double in materials. And then what part of that don't you understand that you then have to give back the $600? You got to be kidding me. And this guy's your friend.
And that's the biggest lesson from this courtroom battle. The judge awarded the money, but the real loss wasn't just $600. It was a friendship built over years that disappeared because of accountability, excuses, and broken trust. Do you agree with the ruling, or should the defendant have been paid something for his time? Share your opinion below.
Friend? How do you treat your enemies? How do you treat your enemies,
I treat
Mr.
everybody
Rosado?
good, Your Honor. Everybody gets treated well.
Everybody gets treated
Except
well?
when I get shafted out of money and waste my time.
You get shafted out of money?
Exactly.
He lost the deal because you're incompetent.
How did he lose the deal?
Here's how he lost the deal, because you're so incompetent you can't get the correct quote. Either get off your butt and go get it from Home Depot, or do it on the internet where it's in writing right in front of you and print it out. But you don't do that. You call an employee, some pimple-faced kid who's worked there for 22 minutes, get a quote that, for all I know, you got wrong, not the pimple-faced kid, and then you base the contract on it. It turns out that thanks to your incompetence, he's losing out in his time, and you want him to not get the full $600 back that has come out of his pocket to make peace in his neighborhood. Are you kidding me? What planet are you living in?
Yeah, but...
Sit out, please. Right. $600 verdict for the plaintiff.
All right, so what planet are you living?
You know, you win some, you lose some, but you live to fight another day. That's all I can say right now.
All right, so you lost this one.
Yeah, but hopefully I'll win the next one. You know what I mean?
You expect
and the battle keeps on going.
You expect to be in court again soon?
I hope not. You never know.
All right, but what happened to the friendship? You said was a friend. All this is
I still consider him a friend, but like I said, my time isn't free. End of story.
All right, I don't want to hold you up.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
This way. This way. Quickly. All right, so step on in here. You guys still buddies?
I thought we were. At one point, I thought we were.
And now?
I'm not so sure. I mean, I don't see how friends shaft another friend out of $600 and can't even be honest about it. And it just taught me a little bit of a lesson that you basically can't trust anybody.
Anybody. Okay, Harvey, take it.
You know, the defendant is an example of a bad contractor, lots of excuses and no accountability. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.